When you hear the words artificial intelligence, what comes to mind? Is it all science fiction, robots, maybe a future that feels really far away? Well, I've got news for you. The truth is you're already living in the AI era. It's not some distant concept. It's a tool that's quietly working behind the scenes, powering dozens of things you use every single day.
So where is all this AI hiding? Well, you're interacting with it pretty much constantly, probably without even thinking about it. Let's pull back the curtain on just a few examples that are almost definitely in your pocket or on your screen right now.
First up, your email. You know that nice, clean inbox you hopefully have? Yeah, that's AI. It's sifting through billions of messages every day, learning the patterns of what's junk and what's a dangerous phishing attack, all to protect you with incredible accuracy. It's one of the most effective AI systems we all just take for granted.
And unlocking your phone with just a glance? It feels like magic, right? But it's actually a really sophisticated type of AI called computer vision. It's basically teaching a computer how to see and understand images. It analyzes the unique map of your face and authenticates who you are in milliseconds with over 99% accuracy. Pretty wild.
You ever finish a show and wonder how your streaming service knows exactly what you want to watch next? Well, that's a powerful AI recommendation engine at work. It's constantly analyzing your viewing habits, what you like, what you skip, and what people similar to you enjoy. And get this, about 80% of what we all watch on services like Netflix comes directly from these AI suggestions.
And how about just getting from point A to point B? AI is your co-pilot. Navigation apps are analyzing billions of location signals in real time to predict traffic jams and find you the fastest, most efficient route. On average, this saves drivers around 8 minutes per trip, and that time really adds up.
Okay, so seeing AI in action is one thing, but it begs the real question, doesn't it? How do these machines actually learn to do all this stuff? How does a spam filter know what junk mail looks like? Or a GPS predict a traffic jam before it even gets bad?
So let's peek inside the AI brain. The secret sauce behind almost all modern AI is a concept called machine learning. And at its core, machine learning is really all about one thing: recognizing patterns in data. And there are three main ways machines learn to do this.
The most common method is called supervised learning. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like teaching a kid with flashcards. You give the AI a massive data set of examples that are already labeled with the right answer, like thousands of pictures tagged cat or dog. The AI studies them over and over until it learns the patterns and can make accurate predictions on its own.
Then you've got unsupervised learning. This time there's no teacher, no answer key. You just give the AI a whole bunch of data, and its job is to find hidden structures all by itself. Imagine handing a kid a giant pile of Legos. They'll naturally start sorting them into piles, by color, by size, without you telling them how. That's unsupervised learning. It's great for discovering patterns you didn't even know were there.
And finally, there's reinforcement learning, which is all about learning by doing, pure trial and error. It's basically like training a puppy with treats. The AI tries an action. If it's a good move, it gets a reward. If it's a bad one, it gets a penalty. Over millions and millions of attempts, it figures out the best strategies to get the most rewards. This is exactly how an AI learns to master super complex games like chess.
Now, the engine driving a lot of this learning is something called a neural network. And as you can see, it was directly inspired by the human brain. Just like our brains have all these interconnected neurons firing off signals, a neural network has layers of digital nodes that process information. By passing data through these layers, the network can learn to recognize incredibly complex patterns, whether that's the shape of a face or the perfect move in a chess game.
Okay, so now that we have a little peek under the hood, we can finally start to tackle some of the biggest myths that surround AI. Thanks to movies and some crazy headlines, there's a lot of confusion out there. So let's separate the science fact from the science fiction.
This one. This is probably the biggest one, right? We see it in movies all the time. The idea that AI systems have consciousness, that they have emotions and intentions, just like you and me. But is that really what's happening inside the machine?
So here's the absolute bottom line. AI doesn't think, it processes. It doesn't matter how realistic a conversation with a chatbot feels. Underneath it all, it's just incredibly sophisticated pattern matching. It's predicting the most likely next word in a sentence based on all the data it's been trained on. It has zero self-awareness, no genuine feelings, and no true understanding. It's a world-class mimic, but it's not a mind.
Okay, let's talk about the fear that worries a lot of us: jobs. The idea that AI is coming for everyone's job and that human workers are just going to become obsolete.
It's a totally understandable concern, but if we look at history, it tells a pretty different story about technology.
The reality is, AI is much better at automating specific, repetitive tasks than it is at replacing entire jobs. Think about it. Technology has always changed the workforce, but it usually ends up creating more new roles than it gets rid of. AI is a tool for augmentation. It frees us up to focus on the things machines can't do, like strategy, creativity, and real human connection.
And here we go. The ultimate sci-fi nightmare, the robot uprising. The myth that AI will suddenly become self-aware, develop its own evil goals, and decide that humanity is, in the way. It makes for a great movie plot, but it is just not based in reality.
Let's be crystal clear about this. AI systems are tools, period. And they are and will always be under human control. People design them, people build them, and people train them. We set their goals. We have the power to change them or just shut them down. Now, responsible development is absolutely crucial, but we really don't need to fear a robot overlord.
All of this brings us to a really key point. AI and human intelligence aren't actually in competition with each other. They're incredibly complementary. They have strengths and weaknesses that balance each other out almost perfectly.
And this chart just lays it out so well. Look at memory. AI's memory is data-driven. It's practically limitless. But human memory, it's all about context, association, and emotion. AI can solve problems by analyzing huge data sets with pure logic, but we use intuition and creativity when things get messy. And yeah, AI can process language, but it will never truly get sarcasm, subtext, or the nuances that make our conversations so rich. They're just fundamentally different kinds of intelligence.
And that right there brings us to what I think is the most important takeaway from all of this. The real conversation we should be having isn't about AI taking over the world, it's about us. It's about our responsibility, the choices we make, and the kind of future we want to build with this incredibly powerful new tool.
I love this quote because it just nails it. The antidote to fear and hype is just clear, honest knowledge. When we understand what AI is, and just as importantly, what it isn't, we can start to make smarter, more ethical, and more effective decisions about how we want to use it in our world.
So, at the end of the day, AI isn't magic, and it's certainly not evil. It is one of the most powerful tools our species has ever created. And just like any tool, its impact, whether it's good or bad, depends entirely on the hands that wield it. So the question isn't, what will AI do to us? The real question is, what will we choose to do with it?